This might sound crazy, but credit is literally just a video game. And chances are, if you're watching this, you're not winning as much as you could be. Because the truth is, there are cheat codes, and the top 1% of people with the highest credit scores are using them to stay ahead. That's why they keep winning. They are playing a smarter game than you. Now, I spent the last 7 years obsessing over the credit game because I was just like you. I didn't understand how some people were winning so easily. But now I figured it out. I helped thousands of people remove their negative items off their credit report just like this. I also helped thousands of people unlock business credit just like this. And I also help many of people improve their credit score really fast just like this. I've learned the cheat codes and I'm about to give them away because I want to see more people win at this game. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to win at the credit game, the strategy, the tactics, the mindset. And if you've been stuck trying to figure out why your credit score isn't moving, this is the blueprint you've been waiting for. It turns out that credit is the best video game ever invented. Millions of people are playing every day, but most of them are losing. People are fighting to increase their credit score, qualify for better credit cards, and get approved for loans. But the truth is, if you know what you're actually doing, credit is way better than a video game. Because in the credit game, the points are the dollars. And every time you level up your score, you unlock better interest rate, bigger credit limits, and more money in your pocket. And if you master this one game, you're going to be set for life. So if you're trying to win the credit game, you only have one job. Learn how to make the system work for you, because this is a game within the game. When you have no money, you can leverage credit to buy assets that create constant cash flow, which gives you the ultimate freedom. The freedom to travel, the freedom to buy the things that you like, and the freedom to spend more time with your kids. But here's the problem. Most people have been taught to use credit the wrong way. They are told to use credit to buy things they don't need right now, and then spend the next 20 to 30 years trying to pay it off. Now, that's not how you win this game. To win, you need to have two things: a plan, a clear strategy of how you'll use credit to build wealth. For example, if you're interested in real estate investing, there are different strategies you can focus on, such as, do you want to flip properties? Do you want to buy and hold for long-term investing, passive income? Do you want to wholesale or put deals together? Now, let's just say you want to buy and hold trailer homes. Here's how you can play the game. Use business credit to buy a lot and a few trailers. Then, of course, fix them up to make them look nice inside. And then, of course, rent them out for the next 15 to 20 years, which will generate you consistent cash flow. The rent will cover your loan payment, and after a few years, you will own the trailer free and clear. Now that's passive income for life. Or maybe you want to start an Airbnb business. You will use business credit to furnish and upgrade the property, and collect rent and pay off your credit line with the cash flow you're getting every single month. And then you will scale by repeating the process with multiple properties. This is how the wealthy play the credit game. They use credit to buy assets that pay for themselves. Now, the second cheat code to this is getting access to high limit credit cards to loans and other lines of credit. In order to get access, you need at least one credit score above a 700 because not all banks pull from the same credit bureau. Here's how you can apply this strategically. There are banks that only pull from Experian, such as Amex, Chase, and Bank of America. And there are banks that only pull from TransUnion, such as Navy Federal, Barclays, Regions Bank, and Fifth and Third Bank. And if your credit score is good with Equifax, there are banks that only pull specifically using Equifax, right? Such as Langley Federal Credit Union, DCU. And if you have a strong credit score with TransUnion, but a weaker score with Experian, you can target banks that only pull from TransUnion so you can maximize your chances of approval. Now, here's the cheat code. You can strategically go to banks that pull from specific credit bureau and then stack approvals. For example, you can get access to $100,000 if you strategically go to banks that only pull from the credit bureaus that your credit score is really good with. So if your credit score is good with TransUnion, like we said, or Experian or Equifax, go to those banks, lock your credit profile up with Equifax and Experian, and go to the banks that only pull from TransUnion and apply for credit. You'll probably get access to a $10,000 credit card, a $15,000 credit card, a $30,000 credit card, or a $25,000 credit card. And then now you have access to $100K to leverage that if you're interested in different specific things. And once you have access, you can use the capital to fund your real estate deals, invest in a business, start an Airbnb or rental property. And this is how you leverage credit to buy assets and create generational wealth. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you get your credit score above a 700? Well, you need to use these two cheat codes, the strategies that give you the biggest credit score increases with the least effort. But first, you need to understand what makes up your credit score and what the banks are actually looking at. See, most banks are looking at your FICO score, not your Vantage score, not your Credit Karma score, your FICO score. And your FICO score is broken down into 5 key factors. Payment history is 35% of your credit score. Credit utilization is 30% of your credit score. Age is 15% of your credit score. Credit mix is 10% of your credit score. And adding new accounts is the other 10% of your credit score. So if you want to win, you need to target the factors that have the biggest impact. And that's exactly what these two cheat codes would do. The first cheat code is adding backdated history to your credit report. See, the old way was adding authorized user accounts to your credit report, but banks have gotten smarter. They have started tracking these and they don't give as much weight to them no more. If they see that you're an authorized user on 5 out of 6 credit cards on your credit report, that raises a red flag. But there's a new way. It's by adding primary backdated history accounts to your credit report. So here's how you do it. Use a service like Rent Reporters to report the previous payment history that you've been living at that apartment. This strategy impacts 4 key factors of your credit score. So here's an example. Let's just say you moved in 5 years ago. All right. Now, since you moved in 5 years ago, they only can report up to 24 months of on-time payments being added to your credit report, which would then impact payment history of your credit score, which is 35%. So adding 24 months of on-time payments will improve your credit score dramatically. Now, another factor it will increase is the age, right? So if you've been living at that apartment for the last 5 years, now you get that specific open date added to your credit report. Now that affects the average age of your credit score, which would then improve your credit score. Now, since this is an installment account, and if you don't have an installment account on your credit report, it also improves the credit mix of your credit score. And also, since it's a new account, but not really it's a new account, but not really a new account, it also improves that factor of your credit score as well. This is a cheat code that works because banks weigh primary account heavier than authorized user account. It's like hacking the system. You're essentially giving yourself years of positive history overnight. This is exactly why top credit winners see massive score increases. They understand how to manipulate the structure of their credit reports to work in their favor. So if you implement this one strategy, you could see a jump with your credit score between 50 to 100 points in as little as 30 days. The next cheat code is removing accounts off your credit report without waiting 7 years. See, most people think that, hey, even though you still owe money, that this account has to stay on your report. Now, that's not the truth. Here's why. You can legally remove accounts off your credit report without waiting 7 years because the law is on your side. There's one specific law that gives you the power to do this. 15 U.S.C. 1681 EB under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This law requires that the credit bureaus maintain maximum possible accuracy in the information that they report. So if anything is on your credit report that is inaccurate, even by a single dollar or a wrong date, the credit bureaus must either update it / modify it or delete the account from your report. And most credit reports have multiple errors on your report that you can leverage. So here's how you can leverage this cheat code to knock the credit bureaus out. Number one, you want to pull your credit report from Identity IQ because it's going to lay out a tri-merge report, which is going to be easy for you to find the details that is wrong with that specific account. And then you want to highlight the inconsistencies on your report similar to this. And then you want to create a custom letter to investigate the inaccuracies on your report. And you can go to freesecretletter.com to get access to a letter. And you want to structure your letter based off of 15 U.S.C. 1681 EB. You want to pinpoint the inconsistent information on your report, explain what's wrong, and then of course you want to use the law according to 15 U.S.C. 1681 EB, how that specific account is not assured maximum possible accuracy according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And then after you send this letter, right, you want to add 2 forms of identification with this letter, get it notarized, and then certify and wait 30 days and then 5 days for them to mail the investigation back to you. And some of the times what's going to happen is you're going to get some of your accounts removed and some of them are going to say, quote unquote, they modified that account. And then when you compare your reports, you're going to know that they didn't modify that account. And what you can do now is escalate it, right? You can send in another letter basically asking them, what did they modify? What did you fix? Because according to 15 U.S.C. 1681 I-5, you're supposed to modify the date, make sure it's consistent, or remove it off your report. And then you can leverage 15 U.S.C. 1681 I-7 by asking them to provide a description of how they modify that account or what did they modify. And usually they don't. And then you can leverage multiple laws since they violated that one. Or you can escalate it by not just sending a letter in to the credit bureaus. You can also use the CFPB, or you can go consult with a consumer lawyer, or you can leverage the Attorney General's office, or you can leverage the BBB. Now you have multiple options to knock the credit bureaus out. Now, this strategy works because most reports have inconsistent information on them. And once you point it out, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax are supposed to either modify it or delete the account. Even if you owe the money, if the account is reported inaccurate, they have to either modify the account or delete the account from your credit report. And you can use this strategy to remove late payments, collections, repossessions, charge-offs, bankruptcies. And if you execute this correctly, you could see a jump anywhere between 50 to 100 points, and even sometimes 150 points. And you don't have to wait 7 years. This is how the top credit winners are playing the game. They first understand how to leverage backdated history being added to their reports. And number two, how to remove negative accounts off of their reports without waiting 7 years. This is the cheat code, and once you start using it, you'll stop playing defense and start playing to win. This isn't theory, this works. See, Andre here wiped everything off his TransUnion report in less than 30 days by using this strategy. You see Lisa right here, she improved her credit score over 82 points after removing some of those negative items off of her report and adding backdated history accounts to her credit report. And you see Tony right here, she got approved for a $100,000 business credit card after she removed those negative accounts off of her reports. And then she purchased a business or started a business, used her credit to invest into a business, and then grew her business and continue making cash flow. See, one of the things I learned from my mentor, Eric Thomas, winners win, losers lose. I'm gonna say that again. Winners win and losers lose. So here's the mindset of the top 1%ers have when it comes to credit. One, they have a clear strategy. They know exactly what factors to target to improve their credit score. Second, they focus intensely. They stick to one plan until it works. Third, they reinvest their wins. Every time they improve their credit score, they either increase their limits or get another business credit card to invest into something that will continue paying them month after month. And number four, they stay disciplined. No distractions, no chasing shiny objects, just steady progress. This is how you create momentum. And once things start working, the results will compound.